and welcome to a new episode of the Prosperity on Air podcast with yours truly, Paola De Vescovi, your host. I'm very happy today to have back on the podcast my dear friend Debora Luzi. I'm saying back on the podcast because she was already with us in episode 22. So if you haven't listened to this episode yet, I suggest that you go back and check it out. In that episode, we spoke about the importance of using your intuition in your business. And when your intuition is combined with strategy, this will certainly lead to your business success. Today, we cover a topic that is very dear to my heart, that is the energy and the power of words. For those of you who know me, and maybe you've read my about page on my podcast, you know that for many years I have been working as a conference interpreter, and therefore I could witness the impact that speakers were aware of the energy and of the power of the words they were using in their communication, were really able to make an impact on the audience listening to their speeches. So it is very important to understand that words have their own energy and have their own power, and that this energy and this power really affects the way we communicate. And as you will hear in my conversation with Debora, when we are aware of that and we let also our intuition guide us when we are writing our content, our communication is different. We are really able to connect energetically, emotionally with our audience, with our clients, with the people we speak to. And this is true both in business and in our personal life. So just a few words to introduce Debora to you. Debora is an amazing author, a writing mentor, and a word lover. She is passionate about teaching entrepreneurs how to turn their words into sales and therefore impact in this way millions by unleashing their truest, most authentic writing voice. She is the founder of the Writing Academy for Entrepreneurs, the only online community focused on content creation with members from all over the globe. Debora is also the founder of the Women Who Dare to Desire conference, a center stage for visionary women who are ready to inspire the world with their message and story. And I have had the honor to be a speaker at the first edition of this conference. And Debora is also an author, as I said, and I really suggest that you have a look at her book, Writing Inspiration for Entrepreneurs, 55 and 1 Content Ideas to Turn Your Words into Sales. So without any further ado, let's listen to the conversation I had with Debora Luzi on the energy and power of words. Debora, I'm so happy to have you back on the podcast.
Yes, I love it. Call me anytime. Anytime with Paola, for me, it's incredible.
I was thinking, the other time that you were on the podcast, it was a few months before the beautiful conference, the Women Who Dare to Desire conference in London. Oh, how much I missed it this year.
Oh, tell me about it. But, it's coming in January 29.
January 29,
2022.
Yes. So I'll be there.
You must. You
Yes.
must. Otherwise, I
Yeah.
come and pick you up.
Yeah, I will be there. I will be there. And I'm sure that by that time, it will also be much easier to travel. Yeah.
Completely, yes, completely.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Deborah, you are doing so many things on, not only writing, but, the language, the words, and knowing you and all the beautiful energy work that you do. I said we must discuss about the power and the energy of words. So, my first question, how are, why and how words are so powerful?
Right. Okay. So, first of all, there is something that I really want to start and say, like theory, quantum physics says that everything is energy, right? Absolutely. In our body, our emotions are energy, how we feel. And words carry to me the highest vibration of our energy, because I want you to think about something like you have an emotions. For example, you feel sad or you feel happy. It's an energy that is inside of you, right? And you have a feeling, but it's kind of kept inside of your body, right? If that is making sense. But when you actually go and say, I am, or I feel, that feelings, that energy is actually, I know it sounds crazy, but it materializes. It becomes really almost touchable, real, and it's kind of the ultimate expression of that feeling. That's why, I always say is, words just, and not only spoken, but also written. So many people, like, for example, journaling, Paula, you go anywhere, even to therapists now. What do they tell
Yeah.
you? Oh,
Yeah.
just write it out, right? So like it's becoming, because words are so powerful. They are like the ultimate release of what we feel inside. I call it's like a purge. It's like,
Yes.
whoa, it's the ultimate, really, sorry for the expression, but
Yeah. Yeah.
so people understand, it's the ultimate, really, like final expression and destination of this energy and feeling that you have inside of you. And I truly believe that this is like when I used to, I started my business as a healer, Paula. I remember, and I worked a lot on the chakras, right? And so chakras are center of energy in our body, are like, it means wheels in Sanskrit, and they carry a lot of energy, emotion. They carry, memories and conditioning, from our past. And through words and through expression, we can release, those feelings, those conditioning from inside of us. It's like, really, words is the ultimate liberation of those feelings. And in fact, when I used to heal, a lot of people had problem, mainly women, in the throat chakra, Paula. Yes.
Absolutely.
It was incredible, because I had all of these clients. I put them on a couch, and then I used to do a little kind of procedure to scan their energy and really check, where the energy was flowing, when it was not flowing. And most of the women, it was on the throat chakra, right? And this is how I see it, is like, when words are not expressed, it's like, imagine, that's why people have so much problem here, because as women, and even men, some of the men are really not upfront, they don't really speak the truth, but most of us are really not speaking the truth, we're scared. So imagine this energy, this feeling here, or even because everything from any energy inside from your heart, they come through here. This is the vehicle, this is the escape. The mouth is where the energy is released. So imagine you're going up, you want to say something, and then you go, but, and you swallow. But it's not shut up, don't say that, and you swallow. And then you're like, I better not say, because last time it got me in trouble, right? So we have all this and really like putting it down. And that's where energy doesn't flow. And that's where our words become really stuck. They become, it's like, oh my God, I'm alive. Words are alive. They are like the ultimate expression of our feelings and emotions. And if we suppress them, they stay inside of us, and that's where the problem starts to occur. Sorry, I went to a little bit everywhere.
Absolutely. No. And, it's interesting. I've been doing a workshop on the business chakras, and so how your personal energy is reflected, in your business, and how blockages in your chakras are reflected on specific areas of your business. And I was reflecting when preparing the material on the chakras and on the throat chakra in particular. I've been working as a conference interpreter for many years, almost 30 years, and I have always been the voice of others. So I didn't notice the blocked energy in my throat until I've decided to do something else and therefore speak my own truth. All the blockages came, to the surface. The moment I was I had to express my own energy and not the energy of other people. So it's very interesting what you were saying. So when you have to speak your truth and, let your true essence come out and be released through your mouth, it's interesting to notice, the blockage there.
Yeah,
And the other thing I was thinking is, we say so easily, I am tired, I am frustrated, I am angry, oh, I'm so stupid. So how important it is to watch out for what we put after I am.
Oh, completely.
Yeah.
It's such like the most two powerful words, really, that we can pronounce, and that is very, very important. Is there is like a bit of a thing that I want to say sometimes, like when we have words, like you said, when we really negative words about ourselves, that is really when we really create our reality with our words. But then on the other side, I am for saying like your true feelings. For example, I am, I'm sad, I am overwhelmed, I don't feel well, that way. Sometimes people are, even because they say, oh my God, I need to be what I am, what I'm saying. But if you say it just once and you let it out, it's out. And that's why there is a lot of problem with people with emotional issues, because they are not expressing those words, they are not coming out. Because I remember working with a man, I had very few clients that were men, but I remember working with this man that was really struggling, Paula, to say that he wasn't feeling well, because his dad always told him, everything is okay, smile, what are you doing? You need to be happy. So this man had, conditioned his life on being like, yes, it was like, I am happy, everything is fine, which is good to say, because, you create your reality. But when you have this feeling, by you saying it, it's not that now, I say I'm sad, you're going to be sad forever. You say it, I'm sad, this is how I'm feeling, you let it out, and it's out of your system. And you bless it, you bless the words, and then you feel better. Right? So words have this really, really amazing power, and especially like really of letting go, because that's how we let go of our emotion. How we let go, the things that doesn't serve us, by just, and this is really how I see it. I see like words being, how can I say, like beings, right? proper like energy coming inside, brewing, and then you go like boom, you throw them out. And how it is when you feel a relief, right? And then you can, I think this is very, very important, and that's why it's good to say positive things. Then when we say, of course, oh, I'm stupid, I'm silly, I'm not good enough, that absolutely not. But when it's words about your feelings, then please let them out, either through saying it, through a diary. And this is what I always I used to recommend my clients, Paula. And people talk about journaling. Journaling is amazing. I love it. But there is some part that people miss in the journaling, which is the reading the journaling out loud.
Yeah, yeah.
Because that is when the ultimate release is really happening. Because the words is in a piece of paper, but when you actually read it and you say, this is blah, 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 this is what's happening, this is how I feel, and blah, 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 that's really these words, this emotion leaving your body and giving space for new, emotion, new feelings to come through, right?
Oh, that's such an important piece of advice that you are giving, Deborah, because you're right. Very often, and I'm myself included, I stop at the writing. I mean, I'm writing the thing. Yeah, I can read it because I like to go back, and see what I wrote in my journal over the months or years, but I never read it out loud.
Yeah. It's so important. And I'm telling you more, Paula, this is something that, the listener, probably you're going to blame me for being called crazy when you walk down the street, but I talk to myself
Oh,
when I
I'm
walk.
talking to myself all the time.
Yeah.
So.
And, sometimes I used to put headset so that people, like they think, oh, I'm talking now. I do like really crazily, like bluntly. I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, Deborah. And I have conversation with myself and I'm like, Deborah. And I'm like, this is how I feel. And then I go because again, it comes maybe from my years of acting and things, but also the expression that you give, to those words is very, very important, because you release them even more with passion, with conviction. And you're like, yes, I feel like this. And, again, we're so conditioned of, don't be angry, just calm down and everything. So if you are reading out loud a piece that you need to swear or you need to say, I am fed up, I had enough, just go and say, like, give the words as well the emotions that they need. Or like, I'm happy, I'm ecstatic, I'm happy, like that.
Yeah.
So many people are contained in their little, like, composed, happiness. It's a feeling. And that's why I always say I don't like Nicolas Cage, the actor. And I hope he's not going to listen to this, but, because he puts no emotions into his word. When he acts, he said, I'm happy, I am sad, I feel okay. It's like there is no tone, there is no pitches, nothing like that. And I think that's why when you read it out loud, give the emotion its identity and really embody that identity so that the release it's full. And another little things I wanna say, every time you read something out loud, Paula, never be it in front of the mirror. Okay, never be it in front of the mirror. You can guess why, and it's kind of obvious, especially when you got anger or something that you want to release. When you read in front of the mirror, you are projecting the words to yourself.
Yeah.
And it's like they are not free in themselves. So they hit the mirror and they come back to you. And words, so I always say, always have a window open. When, even like if when you argue with your kids or you argue with your husband, make sure the window is open. Because words, emotions of the words stay stuck in the corner of the house. In fact, Feng Shui always say that the perfect house will be rounded, right? Because
The
emotions get
energy
stuck.
would.
Emotion gets stuck in a corner. So, or for example, go out in nature. Go out in nature. Don't read it. Like a lot of people say, read to a teddy bear or read. No, not even that. It's like nothing that is going to stay in your environment. Don't read to any, like to a cushion. Absolutely not. I would not recommend. If you want to, for example, let something out with a person, what I used to say, Paula, is draw the person in a piece of paper, put it somewhere, not against the cushion, not against anything, speak to the paper, and then burn the paper. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Right?
it makes sense, and it's a very powerful. And this leads me to the question.
Mm.
You are now, highlighting the energy of words, and the energy, is all around us, inside us. And so it is very important to bear in mind what you are saying. So it's very precious advice, because if we run the risk of keeping this energy around us, so it is so important to not only release it, but to make sure that it leaves
It
your
leaves,
environment.
yeah, completely. It leaves our environment and it leaves our system.
Yeah.
That's very, very important, because I mean, also it's mental health awareness week. I believe this week.
Yeah, it's the whole
And the
month
old
of
month.
May. Yeah.
And that is the thing about it. It's like, say it. And I know it's hard sometimes when you feel down and when you feel like that, but we need to honor the bad feelings and the good feelings. It is important, but sometimes we have to suppress the bad feeling because we need to feel good. We need to look that we need to look good, especially when we are business people, right? Entrepreneurs. There is so much like fear around really sharing your emotion, sharing your vulnerability, because it's like, I'm a leader. I need to have everything figured out.
And under control.
Yes, and exactly, that's magic. Yeah, under control. That's such a good thing. And it's like, no, nobody has figured it out. I think not even Jesus had figured it out. It's like
Yeah.
nobody has figured it out. And I think that is the beauty of, surrendering and really being real to these words, to the emotion that you're feeling. So it's very, very important.
Yeah. So we have spoken now about, our words generally, in our life. But you teach also entrepreneurs and professionals to use these words professionally, but in a way that this energy, their energetic nature and their power is really understood and used, in a way that serves you, your purpose, your clients, etc. So can you tell us something about that? So the power and the energy of words in your professional life.
Absolutely. And it's a really lovely question. And yeah, this is something that I'm really, really passionate about, Paula, because when I started my online business, I tried to be somebody that I was not. I was trying to look at all these coaches that had the 7-figure, the 10 figures, and they had all figured it out and they were perfect. And it was really hard for me to find my space, to own my voice, also because of my childhood. I was silenced quite a few times when I spoke my truth. So I was like not very confident as a child, so a little bit rebellious. So it was always difficult for me, to find my space and to speak my truth. And also when I studied in the online world, and then it was a big struggle for me. And then slowly people ask me, when was the point that you really started to own your voice online? And it's really difficult to pinpoint a particular moment, Paula, but I started to really own my truth, my voice, my feelings, like what I was. I stopped pretending. if that makes sense. I stopped pretending that everything was okay, or I stopped pretending if I wasn't feeling okay. I stopped owning that I'm quite funny, I'm quite sarcastic, that I made spelling mistakes. And I started to own my stories and the messed up that I, like the journey, because there's not like so many entrepreneurs make it look as if everything is perfect, everything they figured it out. And I think that's when the people really don't connect with you. So I started to show up really with my true voice, totally unfiltered, Paula, with my mistakes, with my craziness. It was like, yeah, or like, whoo, all the selfie and the excitement.
With all your beautiful energy that I know very well. Yes.
Thank you, Paula. So yeah, I started to own that more and more and more. And don't give really a toss about what other people, thought, or, comparing myself. And then I started to realize, I was like, the more authentic, the more real, the more unfiltered I was, the content was flowing out of me. It's like, it never take me more than 5 minutes to write a post, to write a sales page, to do anything really, like any writing, because I really tap and I go like, what do you want to say, Debora? And I'm like, I want to say this. And then I start writing. And then, of course, your mind is like, no, that word, maybe there is, you're swearing. No, you got your LinkedIn, please. Or, no, the CEO is going to, your ex is online. Oh, my God. So people start to filter, especially entrepreneurs. But that doesn't look professional. So they start to really create these pieces of writing, Paula, that from a beautiful presence, beautiful energy, they take that words off, that concept off, and it becomes a lifeless piece of content that 1,000 entrepreneurs could have written.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, this is really what I started to realize, that my success and me selling was really due to this spontaneity of content, to this tapping into, I have to sneeze.
Oh,
bless me.
Bless you.
I still have a bit of hay fever. So yeah, I really started to realize that. And I really started to see that that was my area of genius. And that was what I needed to teach. Because 80% of entrepreneurs out there, they're hiding behind a website that has been written by somebody else.
Yes, yeah.
They're hiding behind a Facebook page, a link of Book Me and Calendly and all these links. And then they don't show up online because they're constantly, what shall I say? What shall I do? But what if? And I'm like, the first things I tell them is like, imagine you're in a coffee shop with your best friend and you're going to tell them about your exciting new product. You're not going to go, sorry, just one second. Let me find the words. Yeah. No, you might get offended by that word. That is not professional. You just go, oh my God, I am so excited. I created this product. And I was, my kids were like, we were in the park and my kids, one fall down, one was crying. It was a mess. But I just had this intuitive hit to create this product. And then the mother can, you tell the story of how it happened. And you get that passion, Paula, right?
Right.
But then when you go online, you strip that off completely. And you're like, no, but so the first things that I teach is like, bring that excitement, that same conversation. Your husband comes home, like when I did the conference. Do you remember at the conference I spoke about it? It was 6 o'clock in the morning. My husband was showering. And I knocked at the door. I was like, mi amor, open. I had an amazing idea. Please open. He was showering. He was like, what is it, Debora? I'm like, oh my God, I need to create. I'm here in this world because I need to create a conference. And he looked at me and he was like, all right. And then I shared that exact thing. I didn't go like, ladies and gentlemen, it's with great pleasure that Debora Luzi Enterprise it's going to present you this conference, which is going to be amazing. It's going to change your life. Please book the ticket below, and I look forward to seeing you there. It was not like that, right?
Absolutely not.
Yes.
I'm a witness.
Yes. And in fact, one of the things that made us sell so many tickets, Paula, at the conference, first of all, was your amazing help. I mean, you were one of the, oh my God, I couldn't have had like a cheerleader as better than you, Paula. It's like, you were insanely wonderful.
But
So
I think that all the ladies that you gathered in your
yeah,
project, they all contributed in their, amazing, spontaneous, natural way to the success of the conference.
completely.
Yes.
And I think also, again, because I was leading
Yeah,
with my words, with my excitement, with my spontaneity.
absolutely.
And when,
A word that, is a buzzword now, but your authenticity, it's true. I mean, it was your authentic self.
completely. And I think when you do that, Paula, you give permission to others. And all these women, they were like, oh my God, our leader, she's a bit crazy. She's just so spontaneous. She's just so excited. And so it's like giving them permission to get their excitement out. Because you go to a conference and you need to be in a certain way and you need to be professional and you need to, which again, what professional is. I always say, like a comedian is professional, a stripper can be professional. You know what I mean? What is professionalism really? Is being true to your value, to what you do, what you love, right? But we have this idea that really writing and showing up needs to be in a certain way. And this is what really I want to stop. I want to really like motivate people to get to be free, to
Be
really have
free,
this freedom.
to give themselves permission to really express also through their words
Exactly.
who they are, their passion, their purpose,
Yeah.
the things they stand for.
Or yes, with no limit.
Yeah,
With
yeah,
no like, oh, that words doesn't sound. If a words come to you, it needs to be said.
yeah,
There's so many times people are crossing out. I see so many crossing out, pressing the button, like the arrow back.
yeah.
People are like, no, that's not good. The only time that I edit my post is for spelling mistakes. I never edit my post, Paula. What comes is what you get. Because I believe intuition speaks to me. Intuition is the voice of my wisdom. It's like, a higher Deborah that knows exactly what my people need to hear. So if she tells me those words, if I don't put them out, I'm not honoring her wisdom, my wisdom.
So you are very much connected with your higher self and your intuition, which is important. I think that this is also something that, we have to teach people more, because you do it through your amazing programs and workshops. I do it through my work, but to operate from that connection so that your uniqueness comes out, and it is what attracts the right clients. Because if I resonate with you, with your passion and the way you express it, I choose you and not another person, right?
Wonderful. Yeah, completely. And the energy, and that's why we're talking about the energy of words, which is really the energy of content. Because when you really charge these words with like their real kind of their real feelings, their real excitement, their real sadness, and you don't filter them, it's just what it is. Your audience, your readers are going to sense that. That's why I don't believe in templates. I don't believe it. Yeah.
I was joking, and it's interesting that this conversation, and this episode comes out this week And last week I had on my podcast Sarah Santa Croce, and she started the gentle marketing movement. And she also said, I couldn't see myself in those templates, in these, ways of doing marketing. I couldn't see myself there. So she was also encouraging, people to market themselves in a way where they can express, their true self and their passions and their energy and their authenticity. So it's interesting that the conversations are leading us there, no? To ways to be us, right?
Completely. And that's where I think there has never been a better time to be us than now. Because, sometimes I really think about being a woman 200 years ago. It was like, we are so privileged in a way, like to be women in a time where we live now, because we have more freedom of expression. And I think we are, women and men, everybody, their voice was silenced maybe 200 years ago, many different part of society, they were silenced. But now through social media, people are really owning their voice a little bit more. And there's still a lot of work to be done, right? Because people are still stuck on their condition in which we've been carrying from those generations, right? But the world is awakening so much. Look at like all the movements, coming, the Black Lives Matter, the Me Too, and all of that is really coming out because people are, exploding. They want to say what they want to say. And so that's why, there's never been a much more kind of, beautiful time to speak your truth and to show up exactly how you are.
So, Debora, how do I start? How do I start giving myself permission to let this energy come out through my words? So when I have to, let's speak about, the written word. So I have to write a post, an article, the script for my video, the content for my course. So how can I start really freeing, this energy through my words?
Right. So one thing that I always say, whatever you need to write, train yourself to write. I say something in my book as well. Write as if no one is watching. And I know it sounds like, so even if you need to write something for like a thesis or something like a website, give it the first go, thinking that nobody is going to read that. And allow yourself, I give a beautiful meditation to all the people, and you can get it free from my book, where writing is really about tapping into two centers. That we go back to the chakra, which is tap into your intuition, which is the voice of your wisdom. She knows, or he knows, exactly what you need to write. And it's about really connecting to that voice, to your intuition, because she guides you perfectly in saying what you need to say.
So you connect, sorry, just the people who are listening to us, you connect through to your third eye chakra.
Yeah, your third eye chakra.
Yeah.
So
right.
You could do just, obviously there's no video here, but very simple. You can take a pen and you hold it in your right hand, because the right hand is the receiving hand. And you can just do a little circle clockwise on your third eye, which is the middle, in the middle of your eyes, that point. And you just do a little circle. And as you circle, you really, like, you imagine like a wheel spinning. You imagine the color purple, and you're really going to start to imagine and to the connection with you and your higher self. That helps you to maybe look up, even if your eyes are closed. Just, look up and imagine, because your higher self is, higher. there. I call it is she's up there or he's up there. So really imagine to connect into this source and just surrender and release, and trust. And I know you want to say, Deborah, this is so easy, but the more you do it, the more like you will really get into this flow. And I have so many members in my writing academy that they joined me. Some were dyslexic, some were like, Deborah, I cannot write. And now you cannot stop them. I mean it. It's like, so they've been practicing, they've been trusting it. So you just do like a little, circle in your third eye, and you really connect to these voices, and you're going to start to be open to receive the whisper, right? And then you put your pen in your heart. And this is the true point that you need to write from, your intuition and your heart. Because I want you to, this is amazing when you can shift just this thought, Paula, when you write. If, for example, you write an article, a sales page, or a piece of content, you are very much in your head because you think about you. Oh, they're going to tell me I'm stupid. They're going to tell me this is not academic enough. They're going to tell me this. But when you connect to the heart and you connect to the purpose of your words, saying, how do I want to impact these people? And you write for them. And you really connect. You can, put your pen in your heart and you can really connect because you're all connected to the people that you're going to touch in your life. You're already connected at a higher level. There is a web, we have like a web, like on top of our head where we're all connected to the people that are going to change our life and that we are going to change our life. We're all connected. We're just walking closer. And so imagine that your words are allowing them to come closer to you. And you focus on them. What do they want to hear? You don't focus maybe on the people that you think, oh, they're going to judge me because there's going to be mistakes. You focus really on the purpose, on what people need to hear. Imagine you having a coffee with these people. One of my most successful sales page, Paula, was written in 3.5 minutes.
Wow.
I'm not kidding. It like the main part. It was just boom. It just came completely out of me. Why? Because I connected. I said, intuition. What do you want? What am I going to say? And I connected to my clients. I said, what do you want to hear? What do you need to hear right now in this moment? And that's where the question that you need to ask yourself when you write any piece of business content that is for your client. Ask yourself, what do they need to hear? What are they desiring, dying to hear that will make them take an action and be moved? Imagine when you write that you have this friend at a coffee shop that they're like at the last straw and you're there to connect to their heart. This is the beginning. Of course, there is so much more, Paula. And
Of course.
I do so many more teaching, but this is really the basic of connecting to your intuition, to your heart, and write as if nobody is watching. Just write, read it out loud, and don't cancel anything. Don't go back, just write whatever comes. And that's the first time you're going to say, no, I can't do that. No, I can't post. Oh, that's not perfect. Keep going. Trust. You really need to build an amazing trust. And then you write a sales post, something, you write an article. Just write as if nobody is watching, nobody is reading. Right? You're just connecting to your client, to the readers from your heart. I hope that made sense.
It does. And of course, this leads me to my next question. You mentioned your book. So Can we speak a little bit about your book?
Yeah.
I mean, you put in your book all your writing experience and what you are teaching in your courses. So, yeah, and I imagine that what you have just described, it's in your book too, right?
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your book and especially where people can find it.
Yeah. So my book is called Writing Inspiration for Entrepreneurs, 55 and 1 Content Ideas to Turn Your Words into Sales. It's a beautiful book where I shared my journey, my kind of challenging journey from not owning my voice, not speaking my truth, to making so many mistakes and getting so many messages saying, you may spell that wrong and you don't sound very confident and I don't understand, blah, blah, blah. To really owning that I was indeed a good writer, because what makes a good writer is not really in the end of the words, but it's like speaking. It's like how you make your people feel when they read what
Exactly.
you're giving to them. That is an amazing writer. When you can instill emotions through the words, when you can motivate people through the words, that is really, to me, what makes a good writer, not somebody that spells perfectly fine.
Right. Yeah.
Right? It's really the energy. We're going back to the energy of the wording. So I share my methodology, which is embodying 5 different writing personality, which I do it in my free writing challenge. And because I believe, and this personality is not about inventing them, they are already in you. I share my meditation, the one that I was mentioning. You can get it free when you get the book. And you do the meditation, like you listening to it, and words are really going to start flowing. And you can find it in Amazon. It is
Yes.
available in Amazon on paperback and Kindle. And the beautiful thing about my book is that it's full of mantras. So you can actually write the mantras in a piece of paper and post notes and put it all around the house. And the other beautiful thing is that there is a lot of quotes from me. I didn't quote anybody else.
Ah.
Like everybody quotes, I don't know. I mean, yeah, whatever. I mean, not Jay Shetty. Yeah, they say that he copies all the quotes by anyway. But, I really put my own quotes. Which are very, very inspiring. And there is one actually that, in Italian, we have this saying, parla come mangia.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I translated and I said, speak and write as you eat. So I translated, and that is really the essence of everything that I teach. And I say, if you're messy, just write messy. If you eat like royal, don't pretend to eat. If you're messy, don't pretend to eat like royals. And
Yeah.
that's what I did at the beginning, Paula. I was pretending to be all this posh and academic, and I am not.
Yeah, yeah, and fit into, other
Yeah,
people's expectations or other people's definitions of
yeah,
what it is right or wrong, in writing. And but that you don't you I mean, you haven't just written a book. I know you have your writing academy and
mhm,
you have challenges that
yeah.
you offer. So can you tell my our listeners where they can give themselves permission to express their energy and their purpose through words with your support?
Absolutely. Where they can learn to write as they eat. Yes.
Yes, yes,
So dove scrivono come mangiano.
exactly.
So I've just finished my free 5 days writing challenge. I do it free 4 times a year. So the next one is going to be in September. And that launches to my writing academy, which is a private community of entrepreneurs from all over the world, where I teach how to really embody this authenticity, how to own your voice, how to write with ease, and how to turn your words into sale. Because selling is just not about saying, hey, here is my product, buy it. It's about selling, Paula. It's about what you do before selling.
Yeah.
That is something very, very important. And at the moment, what I'm doing, I created something new. You might haven't seen this one. I created a 31-day writing journey, which starts on the 7th of June. So our listener they can get on that. It's called Content Magic. So it's 31 day where I give a prompt every day. There is live Q&A, there is training, and basically each prompt is designed, they're going to take their clients into a journey. So each prompt is designed to really go into this journey from words to sale. right? So
Beautiful.
it goes through, stories, and it's very, very creative. So every day you get a prompt for your social media. And I delivered the first time, and we had some amazing feedback. So I'm doing it again in the 7th of June. Yes.
Beautiful, beautiful. And I will add all the links
Thank you.
to your book, through your challenge, through the journey, to the
Yes.
writing journey in the show notes. And but to wrap up, first of all, I want you to tell also our listeners where they can find you, and I will add the links. But you just if you can just tell them.
Yeah, of course. This is something that I teach all the people. Just be with your name everywhere. Sometimes I go into places and I can't find people. So you can find me everywhere with Debora Luzi. Even like on Instagram was already taken, so I had to add Debora Luzi official.
Yes, yes.
And on LinkedIn, you find me with my name. My website is deboraluzi.com. My business page is Debora Luzi. My profile is Debora Luzi. Everything is Debora Luzi. So you can, friend me on LinkedIn, like connect me on LinkedIn, check on my website, deboraluzi.com. But definitely I'm very, very active. My two main platforms are Facebook and LinkedIn. So come and join me, come and connect with me. Tell me that you come from this podcast. So I might give you a free gift, a special treat, because you are with Paula, and I absolutely adore Paula. So yes.
Thank you, Deborah, and I will add all your links on the show notes. So just to wrap up, final words to unleash the energy and the power of your words.
I want to stick with that. Just write as you eat.
Write as you eat. Write and speak as you eat.
Write and speak as you eat, because that is a true, real energy that you have. And the more, our words wants to come out, and the more you kind of, imagine it. It's like, hello, but I'm like this. And it's like, no, let me soften you. Let me change you. And the word goes like, but this is me. I just want to go out like this. And, it's like, again, you eat like you feel like it, So again, give the words that identity, express how they are, and stop filtering them. And trust me, magic will happen.
Yes.
When you trust, and when you shift from your logical mind to your heart and connect to your intuition. So it wasn't one, I said too many things, but anyway.
Deborah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here today, and
Thanks for having me, Paula.
I'm always very, very happy to, spend this time with you, and the conversations with you are always very inspiring and very empowering. Thank you very much. And I hope to be able to see you soon in person.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll give you massive hugs. And thank you so much for listening to everybody. And hopefully I'll see you soon, connect with you. And yeah, I look forward to connecting with you. Ciao.
Deborah, thank you.